how do you split your time between all the different organizations that you're a part of, and how has that changed post-COVID or recently? Yeah, how do you balance all that?
Yeah, so the reason I'm doing interviews, I despise talking about myself. I like
Okay.
talking about ideas and stuff.
Okay.
But really quickly, and I'll get this over with in 30 seconds. Is when I was very young, so like 4 or 5 years old, we figured out. Well, my parents, I was too young, but figured out. I thought it was normal, but I had a sleeping disorder, and so I just don't sleep. And I tried polyphase sleeping, and most I do is 4 hours out of every 24. Now that's good, I guess, because I have more time than most folks. I get the extra probably somewhere between 2 to 4 hours, or for some people maybe 2 to 10 hours uh, uh, of wake time. That's the good news. The bad news is you got to keep busy, or you kind of go
Yep.
nutty. And so as a child, and what got me into more technology is my parents would come in. They would sleep normal, and they would come out, and since 4 o'clock in the morning, I was disassembling the toaster, the phone, the TV, the radios, uh, and when you're 4 or 5 years old, that's problematic, especially TVs, because back then there was a tremendous amount of current going through them, and I've been shocked more times. I literally have had electroshock therapy from like 5 to I don't know 15 when I was smart enough not to touch live wires again. But the point is that you got to keep busy, and I was very fortunate that I had some great reading. That I was an early reader, and I read a lot of at a young age science fiction, and to this day I read at least one science fiction book a month. And uh, even though my world was very I don't want to say impoverished, but very lower middle class, we didn't have a lot of stuff. It was reading those science fiction novels that I was like, okay, the world's maybe more interesting than I thought. And so I think science fiction is a good, if you will, gateway drug into science. And so you'll read something in science fiction, and go, wow, I really want anti-gravity boots. But then you go and read physics, and you go, you know what, that's probably a fruitless endeavor. So now maybe we should move on to something else. And so that in terms of times of the day, it drives me insane. One I don't like cruelty. Obviously anything that most people don't like. But high on my list is when someone says they're bored. Bored people are boring. There are so many things to learn, so many great writers, great books, great ideas, great concepts, great friends you can have, like a conversation like we're having right now. Like there are so many ways to explore this universe and this world, and we're all essentially one step removed, from our chimpanzee brethren. We are essentially talking monkeys on an organic spaceship, going through the cosmos at several 100,000 miles an hour, and with no control, no rudder, no
Yep.
steering, and we managed to survive. And I think there's just so much learning that can be done from that. So when you say we get a lot done, I think most people uh, uh, that are successful, I'm not saying I'm super successful, most people are successful, realize there's a joy in doing, there's a joy in discovery that far exceeds uh, the ownership of material things, or prestige, or I don't know, a good tie or something. That literally the joy of discovery is close to the, it's certainly in the top 5 things you can do to have a meaningful life. But it requires effort, but that effort is absolutely worth it. And so I get things done because I don't have downtime for the most part.